Today is September 10th, and if you wondered why that, even probably by my standards, kind of odd introduction, is because today is Bill Stevenson's birthday, and he is born in 1961, and he is the drummer of The Descendents, one of my all-time favorite bands. And I figured, in honor of the fact that I woke up this morning, and lo and behold, if it don't feel like, well, I guess winter by Texas standards at least, so I busted out my ugly Christmas sweater, which just happens to be of The Descendents. That is their lead singer Milo, who, one of my heroes, who not only sings in a really famous punk rock band, but actually has a PhD in petro engineering or chemical or something like that. So anyway, that was The Descendents theme song. So there you go. And Bill will play drums on them. So can't pass up The Descendents. Okay. Any rate, so today is September 10th, and I missed a very important birthday yesterday. Miss Daggy, our 5th grade wonderful teacher, had a birthday, so Miss Daggy, happy birthday to you. And I found Ellie. Ellie was, we've already started to get the house ready for the decorating for the fall and stuff, like, Halloween and whatnot like that. And so someone had hidden Ellie in the closet, so to make way for some Halloween festivities and Day of the Dead stuff. So Miss Daggy, happy birthday. And we have Jack Rose with the birthday today, September 10th. So happy birthday, Jack. All right. So what else we got? So September 10th is actually Gibraltar Day. And here's a little, y'all have devices now, so I want you to go check out where Gibraltar is, find out where Gibraltar is on the map and take a look at it. And I'm going to give you another little challenge here in a sec, but I want you to all go look at it. So a little geography and history lesson today. So Gibraltar is actually at, it's a southern coast of Spain, and it is actually part of Great Britain. And today, September 10th, is Gibraltar Day, because on that day in 1967, Britain gave them a referendum, like a vote, to say if they wanted, they're a really tiny little piece on the southern coast of Spain. It's weird, it's part of Great Britain, right? And they said, hey, do you want to do you want to go independent, have your own sovereignty, which means you can make your own choices as like kind of independent country? Or do you want to stay part of Great Britain? Or do you want to go to Spain? And on this day, the Gibraltarians, I think they call them, unanimously or almost unanimously voted to stay part of Great Britain. So I would do a little deep dive into Gibraltar, because it's an odd little thing. You have the country of Spain, and here is Great Britain with a chunk, like a small little chunk of it. Like, where's the history of that? And the history of Gibraltar, like in real brief, like it was part of the Roman Empire. Rome controlled all the Mediterranean. Then when it fell, at one point, the Vandals controlled it, and you know what a Vandal is? Like, you vandalize stuff, and that is a name that is so like emblazoned in at least the European history mind, because they sacked Rome and did a lot of damage. So now, like, that was actually a Germanic people that like were called the Vandals, or Vandals, something like that. But like it's gone down through the ages to the word Vandal now means like you go break stuff, because they were seen as being so destructive, even though they were not doing a whole lot of things different than the Romans did. They just did it to the Romans. They didn't like it. Okay, then during the Middle Ages, Gibraltar and much of Spain was actually part of a bunch of different Islamic caliphates, like Islamic kingdoms, which really had the Spanish culture. And like you go down to South America, Mexico, and Texas, like a lot of that is Spanish culture because of this Islamic influence. They controlled, Spain for centuries, right? There's actually influence in Spanish language, like a lot of architecture. Like you go down to like squares in Mexico, and like you see some of the architecture. A lot of that is like heavily influenced by the Middle East and Mediterranean. But even further than that, you've got like influences all from Asia coming in the Middle East, North Africa, from music to food to language to dance styles to music styles. I mean, you can hear like literally music played in Mexico to this day that you can trace its roots all the way back to India and East Asia and Mediterranean, and it's a really fascinating place, which goes back to my like one common theme. Culture is always evolving, and it is really a beautiful thing to take a look at and see how stuff gets mixed together and all shaken up, and like it really like shows humanity really is an evolving species. And we create new things when we meet each other, and like language is constantly changing and ideas are constantly changing, and Gibraltar and Spain are a really good influence of that, because you've got all these influences coming together, from the Celts to the Romans to the Mediterranean, and from there it spread all throughout the world. So anyway, fascinating place. But anyway, so how did you become part of Great Britain, which started this whole thing, right? So in 1713, as there were a bunch of wars going on between the powers of Europe, it eventually was basically Great Britain agreed to get out of a war if they could have that little chunk of the southern coast of Spain. And the reason that chunk is so important is because the Mediterranean Sea comes to a pretty small like opening between Europe and Africa right there, and Gibraltar is kind of the high point. So if you have but castles and weapons and stuff like that, you can kind of control access to the Mediterranean. There was actually going to be a huge battle in there during the American Revolution when Spain tried to get it back from Great Britain. Because if you don't remember, Spain actually was an ally to the United States, well, what will become the United States in the American Revolution. Actually, the town of Galveston down on the coast of Texas is named after Bernardo Galvez, who was a Spanish admiral, like a Spanish. He was part of the Spanish Navy who helped us in the American Revolution with his naval forces. So we were so happy with him that we named Galveston after him, right? But Gibraltar is actually going to be like there's going to be battles in it during World War II, so it is really an interesting geographical place. So my challenge to y'all is to go check out and find it on a map and take a look at it, and maybe just look at some pictures of it because it's a beautiful place. It's called the Rock because it's very rocky. But also one little thing about Gibraltar that always fascinated me. I've always been fascinated by places and books and stuff. So ever since I was a little kid, there are actually monkeys on Gibraltar. The Barbary macaques, they're something like that. They're basically monkeys. They call them rock apes because they don't have tails, right? Or real small tails. So I want you to find, here's my challenge to you, if you find out what about the Barbary macaques or the Barbary monkeys is unique. There is something very specifically unique about that particular monkey species. And if you will shoot me an email, put it in the comment box, and then whoever answers it correctly, I'll give you a shout out on the next announcement. So there you go. Barbary macaques, Barbary monkeys. Go check them out. They're cool little things. They're pretty cute. But find out what makes them unique and let me know, and we'll put you on the announcements. All right. So I forgot yesterday. It's been so long, right, since I've done the announcements. We didn't do the four-way test. So let's kick this off with the four-way test. The four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Our virtue this month for September is compassion, which means you just take care of each other and care about each other, empathize with each other, and really right now we're all going through this together, and the more we can learn to just be nice to each other and be sweet to each other, whether that's like helping your parents with a chore, or if you have a brother or sister, being nice to them, letting them go first in a game, like just whatever you can do to be nice to each other is going to help. Well, it helps out all the time, but especially helps now while we're trying to figure out this remote school and getting back to in person. So be nice to each other. Okay, I'm missing you. I can't wait. I can't talk anymore, apparently. I can't wait to see y'all, and I will talk to you tomorrow, and I will see you around a Zoom meeting. Bye, guys.